Hello! Welcome back! About a week ago now, I posted my first video in a long time. I think that it was received the way that I was hoping it would be, and so I feel really good about filming a little bit more and sharing a little bit more. And though I do want to do some vlogging, and I'm actually planning on vlogging next week, I did want to first sit down and just have a quick little chat for those who feel like listening, because it's been almost 2 years since I posted and then obviously just now caught you up. There's been a lot that's happened, and so I wanted to just debrief real fast on where I am right now, some stuff that's happened, and then kind of what I'm thinking about the channel moving forward. For to drink, we have some green tea right now because I'm out of my jasmine, unfortunately. I'm really hoping that I'm in focus right now. Here's a little bit of the fit today. I've been really into vintage western, and I'll talk a little bit more about some style stuff. But first, I just wanted to talk about some of the main things that have happened. Obviously, I am here in California, and I'm now finishing up my first part of my sophomore year. I took sort of a gap year this semester. I only took 2 classes. And so I'll be starting off the fall again, still in my sophomore year, even though I've been at LCAD now for 4 semesters, which is crazy. It's wrapping up next month. I'm very excited for summer. For those of you who don't know, I am majoring in game art, and that's been a doozy. I do want to have a separate chat about art school, but I think that it is good to generally mention some stuff that happened. I had a very rough first freshman semester. Lots of stuff happened in my life, and that was awful. I don't ever want to repeat that ever again. It's really hard going from a environment that isn't catered to art to an incredibly competitive art environment, but I've adjusted now, and so that's all that matters. This past semester was not the one that I'm taking right now, but in fall. That was insane. I was working on top of taking a full load of classes, and our classes at LCAD are usually either 6 hours or 3 hours, and so that combined with work was absolutely insane. I was up for days, all the time. It was very unhealthy, and I got majorly burnt out, and I realized that I have no idea what I want to do with my art, and that was really scary. And so thankfully I have a very supportive mother, and she helped me, talked me through it, and helped me decide on taking this semester easy. And it's been a really good choice for me. I'm excited to show you some things that I've been working on. A really big formative period in my life this past year and a half was kind of taking some time to just figure out who I am, because it was the first time in my life where I have no influence over me. I have always kind of unwillingly but knowingly catered myself towards other people and their influence, because that's just what happens, and it's super common, especially when you're a young girl. It's so easy. And so I found myself last year completely alone, no parents, no like crazy close friendships yet, and just a giant world to explore myself, and it was really fun. And I ended up really finding a home within the oddities community, which I could rave about forever. I've always loved vintage things. I've been a vintage collector since ever. My grandma, who I spent a lot of time with growing up, collects antiques for a living, and so I was just always raised in that environment to love those old things, and I really found in this past year and a half that that is sort of my niche, And the community itself, especially in the oddities community specifically, is just so beautiful and so welcoming. I went to an oddities market in LA last March? Honestly, I don't remember the date. It was just so incredible, so life-changing. I wish I could explain to you why. It wasn't anything specifically significant other than the fact that I just really felt like I was surrounded by like-minded people who all enjoy things that I do, and the community is so welcoming and fun and non-judgmental, and it just is so beautiful. And so that's really helped me figure out kind of what I feel aligned with. Because I've been exploring that community more and more, it's really been leaking into my art, which I enjoy, and I've really found a love for Victorian Gothic, everything. It was always there inside of me, I just think that I really had to unlock it, and this past year has done that for me. Right now I'm very Western because I've also been playing a ton of Red Dead Redemption, and I really started to love the Victorian cowboy look and the Western look, and so that's been really fun to play with. Vintage Western and 70s are going hand in hand, and they're getting so popular right now that it's super fun and really accessible. Being at an art school has been great because everybody is super into fantasy, so I've been really into all of my fantasy things, of course, but I've just been able to embody it to a whole new level, which has been really fun. For those of you who don't know where LCAD is, it's in Laguna Beach, California, and being in California has been really interesting for me. It's both really fun and really hard. I love having the sun. It's been a huge mood changer. I've really realized that the seasonal depression was incredibly real within Washington, and I do, however, really struggle with the lack of trees. I don't know why. I do know why, but yeah, it's just I find myself really craving trees and mountains, and it's really hard to be surrounded by a lot of flat and dry and brown and pavement. My heart is still with the trees. As the semester is ending, I'm still really trying to figure out what I want to do. I know that it's some type of 2D concept, and just in the past month, I've finally really started to break through into a niche. I've always loved costume design, and so that's something that I want to explore more, but I've also been really interested in set dressing, and it's nice to slowly kind of refigure out what I want to do, because it was crazy going through that tower moment last semester. When I make a video on art school, I'll probably talk about it more in depth, but it is terrifying getting to a place and suddenly realizing, oh my god, what am I actually working towards? I felt like I had no goals, and I couldn't remember anything that I wanted to do because I used to have so many things, and it was so scary realizing like, wow, those so slipped away from me. I really decided to set aside these past few months as well as this summer for a time of adventure and a time of travel, because it's been way too long and I've just been kind of waiting and waiting, saying, yeah, I'll go do these things, and then I never do. So I have already visited Idlewild, I'm about to visit Joshua Tree, and then I'm gonna go to Big Sur as well this summer, possibly the Oregon coast. We'll see on that one. But it's nice to really have solid plans and actually carry through with them. I just feel so blessed. It's all I want to do in life, so it's so nice to finally be able to see some of these places. I am still practicing witchcraft, of course. I would still classify myself as a folk practitioner / pagan. I have found it really fun to be able to celebrate the Sabbats in a place that is fully mine, and I can do all the crazy things that I want to do. I have a really great space for an altar right now, and that has been a life-changing thing. I think that I never truly understood the importance of having a good altar space until now, and it's really changed the way that I practice. I feel like I've really tapped into my intuition a lot these past past few years, and that's been nice. And I just feel very confident and grounded within all aspects of my life. I think that generally wraps up where I'm at. I didn't want to go crazy in depth because there's no point to that, but I felt like this was enough. Got it out. That's where I am. I'm in California doing fun things, doing art, struggling, but that's just part of it. It's nice to work so hard. I've accomplished a lot, and I'm very proud that I can say that. I think that next on the agenda, I'd like to just quickly talk about some channel plans, because why not? I mentioned this in the previous video. Something that I really want to start putting out are book journals, talking about the books that I read, talking about books that I plan on reading. I read a lot last year, and I have many books that I would like to share. I really I'm gonna start shifting this channel a lot towards art. Not necessarily tutorials, but just kind of talking about art, some art school vlogs, because that was something that I was always really inspired by growing up, and helped me decide on going to art school was watching art vlogs. And I feel like there's a real lack of art vlogs, especially for digital artists, so I want to capture some of that, and because it's a really big part of my life and it's going to be my career moving forward, so I'd like to share that part with you. And I promise it's just as beautiful as traveling most of the time. I am going to vlog when I go to Big Sur, so that's something to look forward to. I've also been working on an incredibly large D&D world that I'm going to be DMing this summer, and maybe I'll talk about that if people are interested. I don't really know if I have a D&D audience on this account specifically, so might leave that one, but we'll see. I'd like to post some more witchcraft type things, spirituality type things, because I do have my own space, and I'd like to show you how different my practices are now that I truly have my own area, because it really does make a big difference. I think that some diary type entries, like how I normally do with vlogs, would be really fun, because I do have a lot of thoughts to share, as always. If my art content really takes off, I would love to interview some artists from my school, because I think that multiple perspectives are always great, and it would be fun for you to meet some of my friends here. I'd like to post a monthly favorites video. I always really enjoy those, and Lord knows that I have so many opinions about so many things. I would like to share what I'm passionate about. Thank you for taking the time to just catch up and listen. It was really nice hearing from you guys and hearing how excited people were for me to come back. I've gotten some really nice comments in the past year that I was gone. It truly baffles me that there are people out there who have said that I am inspiring to them or help them get into spirituality or just a general good life view. That is crazy. I just don't even know words. And I'm really grateful. It's really nice knowing that I still have a tiny audience here, and I actually prefer it. I enjoy posting on YouTube. It's more gratifying for me than anywhere else, so I really enjoy it, and I'm really grateful that you're here and you listened to me ramble for, I don't know, is this like 15 minutes? I hope you have a very lovely rest of your week. I will be vlogging next week, and there's lots of exciting things happening next week, so we'll see. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and I hope that you have a lovely week and that you're enjoying spring. It's almost Beltane, May Day, and if you celebrate, happy Beltane. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your day. Go drink some tea and make some art and take a nap, because that's what I'm gonna do. Bye. I hope you know I angled myself over here just so that you could see my sword. It's important. It deserves to be seen.